You know, I've lived 51 years on this earth, and I thought I'd seen everything. Raised 3 boys by myself after their daddy decided the streets were more interesting than his family. Worked 2 jobs most of my life, cleaned offices at night, did hair during the day, put all 3 of my sons through college. I'm proud of that. Real proud. My middle boy, Marcus, he married this woman named Brittany about 3 years ago. Now, I'm not the type of mother-in-law who causes problems. I stay in my lane. I don't show up unannounced. Don't tell them how to run their household. Don't criticize. My mama taught me better than that. But Brittany, Lord have mercy, that woman tested me from day one. It started small, little comments here and there. Oh, is that what you're wearing to dinner? Or, I guess your generation does things differently. I'd just smile and keep it moving. Marcus was happy, or at least he seemed happy, and that's all that mattered to me. They lived in this beautiful house in the suburbs. 4 bedrooms, nice backyard, 2-car garage. Marcus told me they got a great deal on it, said some investor was renting it out cheap. He was so excited about it. First time he could really spread out, you know? He'd been in apartments his whole adult life. I'd visit maybe once a month, bring groceries, cook Sunday dinner. Brittany would barely eat what I made, always had some comment. Oh, this is too salty, or I'm watching my carbs. Meanwhile, she'd order takeout right in front of me, but I kept my mouth shut. Not my house, not my business. Then came last Thanksgiving. Marcus invited me over, and I was excited. I made my famous sweet potato pie, green bean casserole, my mama's cornbread dressing. Spent 2 days preparing everything. When I got there, Brittany answered the door with this look on her face like I was the mailman bringing bills. Oh, she said. You're here. Marcus invited me, I said, smiling through it. I brought some dishes. She looked at my containers like they might bite her. We already have food. But Marcus came to the door, gave me a big hug, took my dishes. Mom, these smell amazing. Come on in. The whole dinner was tense. Brittany kept making these little jabs. About my dress? Is that vintage? About my cooking? I hope nobody has any dietary restrictions. About my job? Still doing hair? That's nice. I just ate my food and tried to talk to Marcus, but then their friends came over after dinner, and that's when everything fell apart. Brittany was showing off the house to her girlfriends, and I was helping Marcus clean up in the kitchen. One of her friends asked about me, and I heard Brittany clear as day from the living room. Oh, that's Marcus's mother. She's useless, honestly. Just takes up space. I don't know why he insists on inviting her over. It's not like she can help with anything real. Her friends laughed, actually laughed. I stood there at that sink with my hands in soapy water, and something in my chest just cracked. Marcus didn't hear it. He was in the garage getting more chairs. But I heard it. Every word. I dried my hands real slow, put on my coat, told Marcus I wasn't feeling well and needed to go home. He was worried, wanted to drive me, but I said no. I needed to be alone. I cried the whole drive home. 51 years old, crying like a child. Called my sister Teresa when I got home, told her everything. Girl, Teresa said, you better than me. I would have gone off. What's the point? I said. Marcus loves her. I'm not going to be the bitter mother-in-law who ruins his marriage. Teresa said. In that way, that meant she didn't agree but wasn't going to push it. I didn't talk to Marcus for a few weeks after that. He called, worried, but I made excuses. Said I was busy, wasn't feeling great. Truth was, I couldn't look at him without thinking about what Brittany said, without wondering if he felt the same way. Then one day, I got a call from my property manager, Daniel. Ms. Johnson, he said, your tenants at the Riverside property want to renew their lease, but they're asking if you'd consider selling them the house. They're willing to make an offer. I sat down. Riverside property. That was the house I'd bought as an investment 7 years ago, when I got a small inheritance from my aunt. I'd been renting it out ever since, using the income to help pay for my youngest son's medical school. Daniel managed everything for me. Found tenants, collected rent, handled repairs. I barely thought about it anymore. Who are the tenants? I asked, even though something in my gut already knew. Marcus Johnson and Brittany Thompson Johnson. I didn't say anything for a long minute. Ms. Johnson? You there? How long have they been living there? About 3 years now. Good tenants, actually. Pay on time, take care of the place. I thanked Daniel and hung up. Then I just sat there in my kitchen, staring at nothing. My son didn't know his mother owned his house. I'd bought it under an LLC, and Daniel handled everything. Marcus had no idea. And apparently, neither did Brittany. The woman who called me useless was living in a house I owned, paying rent to me every month, living a comfortable life because I made a smart investment with the only inheritance I'd ever received. Teresa called me that night like she always did, and I told her. She screamed so loud I had to pull the phone away from my ear. "Oh, you have to tell them. You have to." "I don't know," I said. "Maybe I should just let it go." "Let it go? Diana, that woman disrespected you in the house you own. No, ma'am, absolutely not." I thought about it for days, weeks, really. Part of me wanted to just keep quiet, keep collecting rent, let them live in ignorance. But another part of me, the part that had worked 2 jobs and raised 3 boys alone and sacrificed everything, that part was tired of being called useless. I decided to wait for the right moment. It came 2 months later. Marcus called me, sounding stressed. "Mum, can we talk?" "Of course, baby. What's wrong?" "It's about the house. The owner wants to sell it, and Brittany really wants to buy it. We've been saving, but we're short on the down payment. I was wondering, I know it's a lot to ask, but could you help us out? Maybe like $20,000? $20,000 to help buy a house I already owned. Let me think about it, I said. That weekend, I told Marcus I wanted to take him and Brittany to dinner. Someplace nice, my treat. He was surprised. I hadn't reached out like that in months, but he agreed. We met at this nice steakhouse downtown. Brittany was on her phone when I arrived, barely looked up, but I was calm, real calm. We ordered, made small talk. Well, Marcus and I made small talk. Brittany was checking her Instagram. "So," I said, after the appetizers came, "Marcus told me you want to buy your house." Brittany looked up then. "Yeah, finally. We've been renting forever, and it's time we had some equity, you know? Build some real wealth." "That's smart," I said. "Real estate is important. I'm glad you understand that." She looked surprised that I agreed with her. "Right. I keep telling Marcus we need to invest more, build a portfolio." "Oh, you should," I said. "I started investing in real estate years ago. Best decision I ever made." "You," Brittany's voice had this edge to it, like she couldn't believe it. "You own property?" "Just one rental property," I said. "Bought it about 7 years ago. It's been good to me." Marcus was smiling. "That's great, Mum. I didn't know that." "Where is it?" Brittany asked. I took a sip of my wine, real slow. Riverside area, beautiful neighborhood, 4 bedrooms, nice backyard, 2-car garage. The table got real quiet. Marcus's face changed first. I watched him put it together, saw his eyes get wide. "Mum," Brittany was still clueless. "Wait, Riverside, that's where we—" And then she got it. Her face went pale, actually pale. "The house you've been living in for 3 years," I said, keeping my voice level. "That's my house. I'm your landlord." You could have heard a pin drop. That's not possible," Brittany said. "The owner is some LLC, some property management." "My LLC," I said. "My property manager. My house." Marcus looked like he might be sick. "Mom, I swear I didn't know. You never said anything." "I know you didn't, baby. I set it up that way for tax purposes, kept it separate from my personal business. Daniel manages it for me. I never thought my own son would end up renting it." Brittany's mouth was opening and closing like a fish. "So you've been collecting our rent this whole time? Every month, on time too. You've been good tenants. Why didn't you tell us?" Brittany's voice was getting high now, panicky. I leaned back in my chair. "Well, at first I didn't know it was you. By the time I found out, it seemed like things were fine. You had a nice place, affordable rent. I was getting steady income to help pay for your brother-in-law's medical school, Marcus. Seemed like it was working for everybody. But then," I said, looking directly at Brittany now. I heard something at Thanksgiving that made me think real hard about what to do. Brittany's face went from pale to red. She knew exactly what I was talking about. I heard you call me useless. Tell your friends I just take up space, that I can't help with anything real. Marcus turned to look at his wife. You said what? It was just girl talk. I didn't. You said that about my mother, in the house she owns. I held up my hand. Marcus, it's okay. It's not okay. No, let me finish. I looked at Brittany again. You want to know something about being useless? I bought that house with the inheritance I got when my Aunt Clara died. She was my mother's sister, worked as a nurse for 40 years, never married, no kids. She left everything to me because I took care of her when she got sick. Bathed her, fed her, sat with her in the hospital. I was the only one who showed up. I could have spent that money on myself, could have taken a vacation, bought a new car, fixed up my own house. But I invested it, bought that property because I knew real estate was smart, rented it out and used the income to help my boys. That's what mothers do. That's what useless people do. Tears were running down Brittany's face now, but I wasn't done. And you want to buy the house now? Want me to help with the down payment? Mom, Marcus started, but I kept going. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell you that house, but not for the market price. I'm going to sell it to you for exactly what I paid for it 7 years ago. You'll save about $80,000. Both of them stared at me. But, I said, there's conditions. First, Brittany, you're going to apologize. A real apology. Not because you got caught, but because you understand what you did wrong. Second, we're going to set some boundaries and actually respect each other. I'm not asking to be your best friend, but I'm Marcus's mother and I deserve basic human decency. And third, you're both going to come to Sunday dinner at my house once a month. Not every week, just once a month. And you're going to eat what I cook without complaining. Marcus was crying now too. Mom, you don't have to. Yes, I do, because I'm your mother, and this is what I can help with. This is me being useful. Brittany couldn't even look at me. Her voice came out small. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was awful. I was jealous and petty, and I took it out on you, and you didn't deserve any of it. You've never been anything but kind to me. Why were you jealous? She wiped her eyes. Because Marcus loves you so much. Because you did everything right, raised him right, and I kept thinking you were judging me. My own mom died when I was young, and I guess I was comparing myself to you and feeling like I didn't measure up. I let that sit for a minute. Then I reached across the table and took her hand. Nobody's asking you to measure up to anybody. I'm not trying to be your mama. I'm just trying to be Marcus's mama, and maybe, eventually, your friend. But you've got to let me. She nodded, crying harder now. I'll do better, I promise. The rest of dinner was quiet, but it was a different kind of quiet, a healing kind. 3 months later, we closed on the house. I sold it to them for what I paid, just like I promised. Daniel couldn't believe I was leaving that much money on the table, but I told him some things are worth more than money. Brittany's been coming to Sunday dinner. She even asked me to teach her how to make my sweet potato pie. She'll never admit it, but I think she actually likes my cooking now. Marcus hugs me longer these days, tells me he loves me more often. And me. I'm still doing hair, still working, still living my life, but I'm not quiet anymore when someone disrespects me. I learned something important. You can be kind without being a doormat. You can forgive without forgetting. And you can give someone grace without letting them walk all over you. Last week, Brittany posted a picture on her Instagram. It was the two of us in her kitchen, well, her kitchen now, making Thanksgiving dinner together. The caption said, "Cooking with the strongest woman I know. So grateful for my mother-in-law." Teresa called me the second she saw it. "Girl, you won." It wasn't about winning, I told her. "Maybe not," she said. "But you did anyway. And you know what? Maybe I did. But not because I owned the house or held power over them. I won because I chose grace over grudges, because I stayed true to who I am, and because I taught everyone in that situation, including myself, that standing up for yourself and showing mercy aren't opposites. They're two sides of the same coin. And that coin? It's worth more than any house.